I am highly thankful to all of you for your presence, for coming over here, for attending this side event. Yes.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, yes, now we hear you. Yes,
And
please.
now?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. Thank you very much, Baluchi Voices, for the invitation. And I want to thank very much Madam Claudia Valcic for the very informative presentation she has just given us on the state of the Baluchi people. I want to also just add a little bit about the women and the children in the Baluchi community. Since the so-called war of terror or cultural genocide in Pakistan since 2001, Pakistani security forces have been targeting members of marginalized groups and abducting them against their will as a form of silencing their protests against their need for ethnic, religious, and governmental autonomy. The Pakistani population that is most affected are the Sinti, Baluchi, Patishu ethnic, and the Shia community, and the religious and nationalist groups. In just 2021, July, more than 66 cases, I have just amended the number since I had that from Madam Walducci, that more than 66 cases of enforced disappearance from the Baluchi province in the southwest Pakistan were conducted by the Pakistani security forces. Unfortunately, insufficient reporting systems fail to give an accurate account of the rising numbers of the enforced disappearances. As with every case of human rights violation, women and children are the most vulnerable, thereby bearing twice as much the brutality of these enforced disappearances. There are various reports of sexual abuse, rape of abducted women, and the loss of children and infants should the mother be abducted while the child is with her. This has caused a rise in numbers of women and death of women and children who are then denied access to medical attention, depending on the circumstance, and access to any possible medical mention. The children who are also denied the right to education during the abduction period suffer a loss during this time as they cannot go on with their education. Furthermore, a number of social, economic, and cultural challenges that rise when married women suddenly find themselves forced to leave as a single woman due to abduction of their husbands. These women are forced to make do with the loss of a larger portion of the household income as their husbands have been abducted. They are also left in a state of limbo because they cannot share their grief with the public for fear of putting their lives and those of their family members in danger. And last but not least, these women cannot move on with their lives as they are required to provide a death certificate of the missing spouse or fiancé in order to remarry or to break off their engagement. As a single-parent household is not a norm in the traditional Pakistani culture, the stigma that is associated with such women is enormous. They are then orchestrated from their communities and shunned as outcasts. On the other hand, the Pakistan security forces denies carrying out these abductions, making it impossible to charge them with the crimes. The Pakistani media, which censors all allegations of enforced disappearances, contributes to the culture of impunity, making activists, journalists, lawyers, and even politicians reluctant to engage in such cases for fear of their own lives. Although Pakistan has proposed a draft bill, including the Pakistani Penal Code amendments, which should end the impunity of these crimes and slow down the rapidly growing enforced disappearance cases, the ratification of such a bill cannot take place without attention being focused on the current disappearance cases in Pakistan. There is a great need for a clear definition of the crimes and the use of external pressure with regards to the infringement of international law. Thank you.
Thank you, respected Apiya BAANDLE AMOLO. I am highly thankful to you for your presence, for giving this much details and your concerns against the Pakistani authorities, which are abusing the rights of the people over there. Once again, I am highly thankful to you, and I am looking to you that you will raise this issue through your parliament, and I hope through these efforts the victims will get some relief. I see